Hey Muggles! Welcome to Which Hogwarts House, the video series where I take the role of the Sorting Hat, examining characters from different franchises and deciding which Hogwarts house they will be placed in. Today, we will be diving into the head of Zaheer, the airbending anarchist from Avatar, The Legend of Korra. First we have Gryffindor. The House of the Lion was known for bravery, courage, determination, and pride. But the house was also known for those who were headstrong, reckless, and short-tempered. As an anarchist, Zaheer certainly aligns with the fearlessness of a Gryffindor, and his mission to rid the world of his government was carried out with a fierce resolve. Yet Zaheer was not exactly reckless, nor full of himself.
The Gryffindors comprise a lot of foolhardy and show-offy people.
If anything, he was the antithesis of these things, putting his cause before himself, his knowledge before his abilities. The Sorting Hat would definitely consider Gryffindor, but it may feel it could place Zaheer with a closer match. Second, we have Hufflepuff, who were known for hard work, patience, loyalty, and fair play, though they were a bit gullible for it. Zaheer has some strong alignments with the house, especially with regards to their more favorable attributes. He admired hard work, he was entirely patient, he valued loyalty among the Red Lotus, and his chief arguments against the world powers were the aspects of fair play. The foundation of his campaign was a Marxist-communist mentality, a nation absent of social classes, compensation, and state, a socialist society where all citizens were equal. But he was a bit extreme in his expedition. Less socialist and more anarchist.
No longer will you be oppressed by tyrants. From now on, you are free. I deliver Ba Sing Se back into the hands of the people.
In any case, the Sorting Hat would ponder Hufflepuff for a long few moments before moving on to the others. Next we have Ravenclaw, known for their wit, learning, and wisdom. But they were also known for being shifty when in competition, and a tad bit aloof with their intellect. Zaheer certainly aligns with the intellect of Ravenclaw. Ravenclaws were known for their studies of eccentric magic, something Zaheer would also be known for with regards to his study of the ancient guru, Lahima. In fact, Zaheer studied the philosophies of airbenders rather closely, which is one of the reasons he picked up the bending art so quickly. He was quite studied with matters of the spirits, meditating in and out of the spirit world at will, another unconventional practice. But most of all, Zaheer's studies culminated in perhaps his greatest achievement, his ability to perform unassisted flight, a talent thought to be a myth among airbenders.
Guru Lahima lived 4,000 years ago in the Northern Air Temple. It is said that he unlocked the secret of weightlessness and became untethered from the earth.
The Sorting Hat would certainly mull over the choice of Ravenclaw for a time, before moving on to the final house. House Slytherin was proud, ambitious, and cunning, but at the fault of being self-obsessive and conservative with regards to their blood purity. Zaheer definitely aligns with the Slytherin traits of ambition and cunning, but he would strongly disagree with their core values, especially with regards to blood purity being a means of superiority. Of course, this is not the only negative aspect of Slytherin Zaheer would take issue with, nor is it consistent with all Slytherins. But the House of the Serpents also had a tendency to better themselves, even at the expense of their peers, something Zaheer was chiefly against.
He allowed me and my friends to remain imprisoned while he pursued his own selfish goals. Unalaq becoming a dark avatar was never part of our mission.
It's true that Zaheer could be cold, but he was never power hungry for his own personal gain. The Sorting Hat would take pause at Slytherin, and with all the houses assessed, it would move on to its final decision. What I love most about Legend of Korra is its villains, and Zaheer is perhaps one of my favorite antagonists on the series. He was new and interesting, and he challenged Korra in more ways than a physical fight. He was a scholar, wrapped up in a badass, with a dedicated resolve to his cause. And though he was a bit of a maniac, you still had to admire that drive. For me, the final decision would fall between Ravenclaw, Slytherin, and Hufflepuff. It's true that Zaheer was brave enough to take on the nations like he did, but he did so from his belief, rather than out of recklessness, making Gryffindor an unsuitable match. But he more strongly aligns with the drive to gather knowledge, like Ravenclaws, the cunning exhibited by Slytherins, and the desire to see everyone as free and equal, like Hufflepuffs. Initially, my thoughts went straight to Ravenclaw. The most interesting thing about Zaheer to me was his dedicated study of Airbender philosophy, his thirst for knowledge, and his wisdom to act on it. Then I examined the similarities between himself and Hufflepuff, and there was almost a perfect alignment, almost to a chaotic degree. But then with Slytherin you see the parallels of his cunning and ambition. But Slytherin never rang true for me, as they put in the work for self-gain, to prove themselves. By contrast, a Hufflepuff puts in the work for a perceived greater good, for the benefit of all. What's more, with regards to the Sorting Hat, there is always the factor of personal choice. It's the reason we see Harry, Hermione, and Neville go into Gryffindor, instead of Slytherin, Hufflepuff, and Ravenclaw. And I'm sure the Sorting Hat, sitting atop Zaheer's head, would give him a choice. And when deciding between the houses, I feel he would lean more Hufflepuff and Ravenclaw than Gryffindor or Slytherin. Why? Because those houses align with what he desires most: knowledge and fair play. But most of all, I feel he has the strongest parallel to Hufflepuff. In fact, if there were some sort of Hogwarts house character alignment chart, he'd be something of a chaotic Hufflepuff. After several minutes, with what could just about be a hat stall, the Sorting Hat would finally shout,
Hufflepuff!
Of course, this is all my opinion, based on the lore of Harry Potter and Avatar. Do you agree that Zaheer will be sorted into Hufflepuff, or do you think he will be placed in a different house? Let me know in the comments below, and as always, peace, love, and remember, be water, my friends. Mischief managed.
I only did what was necessary.
The question still stands. Who was the better Avatar? Avatar Aang, the last Airbender?
So I cheated a little bit. I played last night just to see how to play.